2022 JSCE annual meeting IAC discussion follow-up seminar online, which is incorporated with JSCE and CCES. And today we have the honor to have our special guest, Professor Chen Xiangsheng from Shenzhen University. And also as a panelist, also we have the president of JSCE, Professor Emeritus Hokkaido University, the distinguished professor of Shenzhen University, Ueda Tamon sensei. Ueda sensei, よろしくお願いします。
よろしく。
お願いします。Also, as the guest, I think we also have Mr. Shuji Hashizume, but I think maybe not connect yet. I hope he can connect it later. So today we're going to have the keynote speech mainly from Professor Chen. Later we will have a free discussion. And finally, we can have a close summary by Professor Ueda. And this special seminar actually is a following up seminar after the JSCE annual meeting. In the JSCE, we have the very special seminar that a panel discussion about the turning point of civil engineering. We asked a lot of distinguished professors to talk about their experience in their young and their suggest for the development of civil engineering from now on. And in that day, we were expected Professor Chen to give us speak, but because of the technology problem, we didn't have the chance to listen to Professor Chen's talking. So today we have the very good time right now with Professor Chen have with us. Hashizume-san, よろしくお願いします。And today, so we can have this following up seminar. And also as another guest, Mr. Shuji Hashizume from Asian Development Bank will also join the discussion today. Hashizume-san, よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。すいません、入るのが遅くなりまして失礼いたしました。よ
ろしくお願いします。So today's speaking will be in English, but in the discussion, you can ask questions in both English or Japanese. So I will translate to Professor Chen, and Professor Chen will answer your questions in English. So if any necessary, please don't hesitate to let me to translate. So right now it's about time. So I would like to handle the microphone to Professor Chen. Professor Chen, are you ready to share your this screen and start your keynote speak? Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Dang, and dear Professor Ueda. So nice to meet you, all of you here. Today, I'd like to present some about the China Infrastructure Construction Index, just the introduction. My name is Chen Xiangsheng from Shenzhen University. Yeah, there are three parts. The first part is progress in infrastructure in mainland China. And the principle of moderately advanced construction, China's transportation infrastructure construction has made remarkable achievements and built the world's largest high-speed railway network, express network, world-class port group, such as the Beijing Daxing Airport, Hong Kong Zhuhai Macro Bridge, and the Shanghai Yangshan Port, automation terminal, and other landmark projects. And in construction of road and water bridge, in the past decade, China has increased the length of railways and road by about 1.1 million kilometers. First one is urban underground space in mainland China. The structure trained of three centers and 3 axes, such as Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei range, is one center, the first center. The second center is Yangtze River Delta. Here is a River Delta. The Shenzhen University is located here. And the 3 axes is along the Yangtze River and along the east coast part of China, and along Beijing to Guangzhou, Jingguang axis. By the end of 2020, the total area of urban underground space had been built in mainland China. This is different areas in Jiangsu, Shandong, Guangdong, Zhejiang, Fujian, Shanghai, Hebei, Beijing, Tianjin, Hainan, and this is the east part of China, in the central Henan, Anhui, Hunan side, in central China, and in the west, such as Sichuan, Chongqing, Shanxi, etc., and in northeast part of China is Liaoning, Jilin, Henan. Recently, the new number, a new area, upgraded about 2.4 billion square meters. During the 35-year plan period, China's cumulative new underground space construction area reached 1.33 billion square meters. This is different provinces. The largest is Jiangsu province, the second Shandong, and Guangdong goes third one. And total millage of urban railway transit was about 9,192. This is at the end of 2021. And around 10,000 kilometers at the end of last year. These different cities, the top 12. This is top 10. Shenzhen goes the 7. Now is upgrade about at 4th. The total millage about is over 500 kilometers. By the end of 2021, there are 24,699 kilometers of road tunnels and 21,000 kilometers of railway tunnels, and nearly 7,305 kilometers urban railway transit tunnel has been built. Here is a construction millage of growth rate of China's urban transit from 2015 to 2020. And the longest road tunnel in operation is Qinlin Zhongnanshan Tunnel. The length is about is more than 18 kilometers. The longest road tunnel under construction is Tianshan Sendi Tunnel. The length is over 22 kilometers. I have been there 3 times. This is my picture at the as 3 tunnels. And the longest high-speed rail tunnel in operation is Bibangpo Tunnel, is a Shanghai Kunming high-speed railway. The length is nearly 15 kilometers. Qinling Mabeisan Tunnel is the longest high-speed railway tunnel under construction. The length is nearly 23 kilometers. You can see the geotechnical information here. This is a tunnel along the under the mountain. Guanjiao Tunnel is the longest conventional railway tunnel in operation. The length is nearly 33 kilometers. And Gaoling Gongshan Tunnel is the longest ordinary railway tunnel under construction, nearly 35 kilometers. As one of the consultant engineers, have been there more than 5 times. Taifu Tunnel is around nearly 11 kilometers, is the longest underwater tunnel. And the Chongqing Yangtze River Tunnel is nearly 12 kilometers, is the longest underwater tunnel under construction. Here is the Yangtze River. So you can see the tunnel and the Yangtze River and the mountains. The reconstruction project of Beijing Dong Liuhuan Road, the 6th road, the length is nearly more than 9 kilometers, is the longest urban underground express under construction. The total length of the utility tunnels in operation is reaches nearly 4,000 kilometers, and utility tunnels in the central area of Guangzhou city is the longest one, nearly 48 kilometers. The total length of integrated pipe gallery under construction is 1,905 kilometers, and the integrated pipe gallery in Xi'an is the longest one. And this is Beijing Dong Liuhuan, and this is the integrated pipe gallery in Xi'an. By the end of 2021, there are more than 571 high-speed railway stations have been built in China mainland, and the total operating mileage is reached 41,000 kilometers. Here is a top 10 high-speed railway station with the largest passengers traffic. The first one is Guangzhou Nan, and then Shanghai Hongqiao Railway, and then Hangzhou Shenzhen goes top 4. By the end of last year, there are 169,100 kilometers of national expressway has built. This is this number is from Ministry of Transport. Here is a layout plan of national superhighways network. The total mileage of around 5 million kilometers outdoor highways has been built in mainland China. This from 26 to 2021. The total mileage national highway. Here is the density. The right number is the density of highway. By the end of 2021, there are more than 961 highway bridge across the country, with a total length of 73,800 and 2,100 meters. Is about 73,800 kilometers. Here is the Dangkun Bridge, is the longest bridge with a total length about 165 kilometers. Here is the longest bridge in the world, Dangkun. This is Dangkun was the first one, and then the Zhanghua Kaohsiung in Taiwan and Tianjin bridge. The longest single span suspension bridge in China is Nanjing Xiangsheng Road Yangtze River Bridge. Is the longest suspension bridge and construction in China, with the main span is around 760 meters long. Yeah, the longest single span arch bridge in China is Beihai Feihong Bridge. Is the longest single span arch bridge in China with a single span nearly 100 meters. A total number of high-rise buildings in mainland China is the number goes 2,361. The city, the Shenzhen city, is a top one. The high-rise buildings is about 349. Now is this number is broken. Now is 305 and 53, and then Shanghai, Guangzhou, Chongqing, and etc. The total number of transport airport is reaching 248. This number is in 2021. This is airport numbers. The Xinjiang goes first is 2022, and then Inner Mongolia. Here is passages, the annual passage of major airports, the Guangzhou, Chengdu, Shenzhen, and then Chongqing, etc. The intelligent construction management of infrastructure in mainland China. Traditional construction technology is so difficult, and the difficult is a larger project volume, loss of monitoring data, long management period, and low labor efficiency. We try our best to use a big data cloud platform, BIM and plus VR, intelligent recognition, Earth information, and extraction in modern information management technology incorporate with traditional technology. This is the first works about the digital data construction, written by me and Liu Guobin in 2011. Now we go to the second part, the four oriented to the ecological environment. The President Xi Jinping required all of us workers and engineers to use integrating carbon neutrality into the all layout ecological civilization construction, with China already committed to peak carbon emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2026. The Central Economic Work Conferences urgent quick steps to come up with action plan that enables the peaking of emissions. The key words from environmental protection from the Premier Mr. Li Keqiang, neutral, harmony, and green transition and high quality development, biodiversity protection, and carbon peak neutral. The total number of large dampers comes out 23,841. We use by the end of 2020, the installed capacity of hydropower in China is nearly 360 million kilowatts, and the annual power generation is 1,354 billion kilowatt hour. So use more hydraulic power. And about the 757 billion yuan was invested in the water conservancy construction, and 67 of 150 major water conservancy projects have been approved, and 62 projects have been started in mainland China in 2021. This is a very important work in China. And now goes wetland restoration. China has arranged a total of nearly 10 billion yuan central invest to implement more than 2,000 wetland ecological benefit compensation subsidies, retaining farmland to wetlands, and the wetland protection and the restoration subsidies more than 0.467 million ha of degraded wetlands have been repaired, and more than 0.2 million ha of wetlands have been added. In 2021, China added and repaired 0.073 million ha of wetlands. This is a mine restoration area, an artificial afforestation area, and control desert more than 10 million ha. Solar energy utilization. Yes, the solar power generation capacity in mainland China was 183 billion kilowatts hour in 2021, and wind power generation and geothermal energy utilization now is more and more invested and utilized. Now goes the number of new energy vehicles in China reached about 7.884 million. The car recharging powers by the end of 2021 were 1.147 million public charging powers for electromobiles in China, and 1.617 million private charger power were built for electromobile. By the year 2022, the number of public charge power was 1.332 million, and the number of private charge power built with the vehicle was nearly 2 million, for a total of 3.324 million. Reclaimed water utilization, according to the preliminary statistic, the consumption of urban reclaimed water resources in mainland China in 2021 was 16 billion cubic meters, and the increase with an increase of nearly 19% over 2020. And rainwater utilization by the end of 2020, the annual utilization of rainwater resources was 350 million tons. The urban waste treatment facilities, the accumulated invest of fixed assets of waste treatment during the 13th five-year plan period was 177 billion yuan, and invested the investment in waste treatment facility in 2022 was more than 7 billion yuan. Our group with the Shenzhen Metro and some other national or state work companies, we use treat the waste treat facility got award from ITA. Is shared tunneling spoil is waste, or Noble Solution says no, wins the ITA awards in 2021 a capacity of beyond engineering and was selected as a top 10 event of China Open Rail Transit industry in 2021. And with the concrete utilization, this Professor Ueda may be familiar with this work in Shenzhen University. The annual amount of urban construction waste in China exceeds 2 billion tons. In 2018, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Rural Development Organization certified cities, including Beijing, to carry out pilot exploration of construction waste treatment. The resources utilization rate of 35 cities was about 50%, an increase of 15% point over that before the pilot, and about the 10% points higher than the national urban average. And about the Belt and Road, by the end of 2024, the Chinese enterprises invest more than 130 billion yuan in non-financial direct invest in 57 countries along the Belt and Road. It was main invested in Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Bangladesh, the United Arab Emirates, Laos, Thailand, Kazakhstan, and Cambodia. This is one Belt, one Road. According to the statistics by completed turnover, by the end of 2020, the total turnover transportation construction was more than 263 billion yuan, and the total turnover of water conservancy construction was more than 43 billion yuan. Here is a light rail transit across the capital of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. This is on the ceremony, or operation ceremony. Here is me singing a Chinese song. This is in the Addis Ababa. You can see the light railway. And this is the China North Railway. And now is so many people use this China North Railway, a landmark project connecting Kunming in southwest China's Yunnan province with Northern capital, when the trains began operations on December 3. The length is about 1,033 kilometers long. This is a document, between China and the Cross Belt Road. Now it goes some conclusions. Infrastructure construction in mainland China is moving from large-scale construction to green, carbon reduction, and resilient construction. In particular, it is leading the transformation of world development model in terms of green and near zero carbon emission energy utilization. Such new models are built widely applied in infrastructure development along Belt and Road to benefit of the host countries. Here are some suggestions, maybe it's naive from me. The building a smart and resilient infrastructure of humanoid architectural structure. I hope our structure like a human being. This is a framework. Now is a human being framework is a show resilience to external stimuli and self recoverability. And the second is a sensory system, wide-ranging real-time global self-sensing. And third is a nervous system, brain-inspired intelligence, judgment, decision-making, execution, and continuous innovation, evolution. And the last one is immune system, rapid alert response, and resistant disasters. This is my dream about the huge structure or infrastructure. Here is my some introduction by myself. Thank all of you, and here is concluding my speech.
Thank you, Professor Chen. Thank you very much for your excellent presentation. So the time is a little bit before the schedule, so we can have, I think we can have more time to have free discussions from now. So I will asking our panelist, Professor Ueda and Hashizume-san, to ask some questions, but for other audience is also welcome to asking questions and join the discussion. So you can both just raise your hand, and I will call name, and you can ask question and discussion, or you just typing on your question on the chat, and I will read it for you. And please, all the audience, please be noticed that today's meeting is recorded, and later we will to upload this event's video recording on the homepage of JSCE. Okay, so from right now, firstly, I would like to ask Professor Ueda for your opinion and your comments for the Professor Ueda's for Professor Chen's very good keynote speak. Maybe some questions or comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dan. Also, Professor Chen. Yeah, I'm very happy to listen to your nice presentation, which illustrates the latest civil engineering structure development in China, which also I have been observing. And also at the same time, you talk about how to cope with our global issues, carbon neutrality by China, and it is very interesting. And also your last slide is also very interesting, how you try to relate human biological system to our infrastructure system. Okay, I happened to have the lecture yesterday. I'm currently in Bangkok. Then I was invited by civil engineering chapter of the Thailand to give the talk to their mostly professional engineers. Then I gave several possible title of my talk. Then what they chose is the introduction of the infrastructure in China. So my talk yesterday was what we can learn from China. Then somehow my content is similar to what you said, but your presentation is broader and more latest information, such as current high-speed rail, and total length, and also expressway total length. Yeah, your presentation is a more latest information. Then let me give you some questions. Yes, it's very surprising. Like a high-speed rail in China, your current total length is much more than 10 times of what we have in Japan. Japan, we have been constructing high-speed rail, say something like 60 years. But in China, only just over 10 years, you could construct 15 times of Japan. Why it's possible? I mean, is it because Chinese government is super rich? Yeah, what's the mechanism to have this kind of high speed, but yet very high quality infrastructure, which need a lot of budget? Yeah, this is my first question.
陈老师需要我翻译吗？我看您好像已经很清楚。
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Ueda. Yeah, good questions. Maybe you know the central government of China can utilize all of the different industrial, different companies and different designers and together in one. So we called the state power, not instead of different companies or university, such as in the West countries. This is a very different system in whole state, in whole national power to do this.
Yes.
And exports, all of China, exports, sellers, and bank money from bank invest. So all together to one and set a pilot. If wrong, you can correct it. If correct, you can continue and gradually upgrade. So the pilot work is very important. Quality, safety, and then cost. All of together to minimize the failure and minimize the invest. In this way, to set up standards, set up operation guidelines. So in this way, the first thing is to utilize all of the power in the all China, and then set up and then plan pilot work, and then set up standards, and then continually upgrade it. So this is China called state or national power. State of different company, university, or design, or something like that.
I see. Yeah, thank you.
One more.
Sorry.
Sorry, one more. China, the central government asked all of in the high-speed railway learn from Japan American, Germany, French, and then ask all of together discussion what we can learn, what we can do. Almost discussed about 3 years. So learn from developed countries is very important. And also the how to control the pollution, how to control the noise from the high speed, something like that.
Okay.
Sorry for let me join the discussion also about this issue. I think in Japan, right, recently we are really interested about the public-private project as PPP, and so when I was a student in China, I think a lot of project was in PPP. So I was wondering that to ask Professor Chen that in the mainland China project progress, so how much ratio of the project is totally government funded, and how much of them was conducted by PPP?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, it depends. For example, in the section of high-speed railway, almost about more than 50% from central government and 50% from local government. The provincial province level, very little from the local, like Shenzhen, Guangzhou, such as. So main invest from central government, from Central Bank of China. Not only PPP, there are some BP, some enjoyed invest, foreign invest, the train, the car invest from Germany, from French. Now, joint car making or factory in China, maybe more than 3 factories invested by Germany, French, and some financial from Japan in the Qingdao railway car factories. So it depends. PPP may be taking 1/3 PPP, just 1/3.
So PPP is more used in like highway and expressway, but in the railway, it basically is government leaded.
Government.
Yeah. Right. Both.
Thank you very much. So let me lead back to the Professor Ueda's question. So Ueda, I think you have other few questions.
Yes, thank you very much. I have several more questions. Well, let me continue my question. Yeah, your speed, high-speed rail and also expressway network seems to me your government try to have the network to every province of China. Even some provinces, population is very small, but at least you try to have high-speed rail and also expressway to their capital city. This is my understanding, and which is quite different from what we have in Japan. So this is again a governmental policy. Am I correct? If you say PPP, like a financial issue, population does matter, but it seems to me at least U.S. government, Beijing government, have some concept to have at least the main infrastructure in all provinces. Is that correct?
Yeah. The central government planned the high-speed railway across China. Totally 8 axes. Let me show you a map of China. I'm sorry, this is a layout of national superhighway network, but the high-speed railway is three axes in this way, and along the Yangtze River, and then from Chengzhou to Shanghai. This is from west to east, and then four from northern to south in this way, from Harbin to Beijing, and then along the east coast of China to Shanghai, Fuzhou, and then to Shenzhen. And the central one is from Shenyang, and then to Beijing, across Zhengzhou, Wuhan, and then to Guangzhou. And the other one is Beijing, Taiyuan, Xi'an, and then Chengdu, and then Kunming. The new one is from Beijing to Xi'an, and then to Lhasa. Three west to east, 3 railways, high-speed railways, and 4 from northern to south. And the new one is from along the east coast part of China, and then to Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and then to Nanning, and then to Kunming, and then to Lhasa, and even to Wuxi. This is a rain one. Now is under construction. The time is about more than 10 years. This is the central government plan the high-speed railways. That's the cooperated with the national super highway networks.
Okay, thank you very much. Should I stop now? Yeah, I still have several questions, but maybe I may ask. Yeah, I can do it.
Thank you, Emeritus. I think I will come back to Professor Ueda later.
Yes.
But I would like to asking Mr. Shuji Hashizume from ADB and about his comment and questions, and I'll come back to Professor later. So
yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for very interesting presentation, Professor Chen. Actually, I'm also in Bangkok. I'm based here, so perhaps interesting to say the least that for JSCE event, all 3 speakers outside Japan and 2 of us to be in Bangkok. I studied civil engineering originally, but I'm currently working on the financing side, financing of private sector infrastructure. So your presentation was very interesting from that viewpoint as well. Actually, before coming to this region, I was in charge of supporting infrastructure development in China. And about 10 years ago, I worked on projects such as waste to energy. So perhaps that was like genesis of the green or environmental infrastructure development in China. So it's it's great to see a massive and successful rollout of various infrastructure from big to green. Now, since I'm based in Bangkok and in charge of infrastructure opportunities in Southeast Asia, I'm myself interested in China's, Chinese government as well as the contractors' activities in this region. So in your presentation, you mentioned that there's a transition in China from large-scale construction to green and environmental-friendly development. Is that also applicable to overseas project? So meaning, so in your Belt and Road Initiative section, you mentioned the Laos-China Railway as an example. So these kind of mega projects have been like the symbol of China's assistance or infrastructure development overseas. But going forward, will the focus be more on green things such as renewable energy, or will it continue to assist the large infrastructure like Laos and China Railway? Yeah, that's my first question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Now maybe Professor Ueda have some from Shenzhen University. Now all of university in China about the infrastructure transformed from the large scale construction to green, especially the carbon neutrality. We all at different class ask upgrade the books how to use the green idea, especially the carbon reduction in construction. So now invest some countries in Africa in the conservancy, especially the hydropower instead of traditional coal burning power. This is different. We change the direction, invest, not just the infrastructure, pay more attention about the car reduction in infrastructure construction, especially in Africa. Now we have set up standards. What level, what different classes means green or carbon neutrality %. We set standards. User standards request, especially from education to construction, instead of traditional the order from central government. We asked all of contract makers, workers, designers in their brain. The carbon neutrality is most important things. This is different, especially from the 22 central government, communist central government last year. This is different from before ideas, the upgrade, and then from Western countries, then from a European country to control the carbon emissions. This is first things first in China, infrastructure's contraction. That is different. And also we said more mobiles to European. Now is the number is can compete with Tesla in the European markets.
Tesla.
That's
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla. That's my.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Chen. So let me join the discussion. So I think right now I see that that's a very important trend that both the country level, but also the university level that is discussing about the and also action on the under the concept of culture neutralization. And also, I think in Japan, university also discuss of sustainable global development goals, SDGs. So, and also, is there, you think that lot of chance for China and Japanese university can cooperate on some topics about this direction? Do you have any suggest? I'm not very familiar with this direction. So do you have any suggestion we can do together?
Yeah. Now most of universities from China all are in need of cooperation with foreign countries' universities. All of you maybe understand between the different issues between China and American. So some maybe it not so easy now as before, especially President Biden. We have sent China last month. We discussed in Chongqing more than 53 presidents from 53 universities to visit American, European, especially Germany, French, to discuss what a new relationship between universities between university in China and foreign, especially Western country universities. Now some universities are very easy to discuss these questions, but very few. Some it's not so easy. This is
especially on the topic of green engineering, for the green industry. So what do you suggest for the civil engineers we can do for this kind of topics?
I mean, it depends the issues. So the new carbon neutrality is very easy to discuss with different universities, but IT is instead of IT is not so easy. So
I see.
Now central government asks all of universities to in 3 ways. The first is carbon neutrality as a first issues to cooperate with foreign universities, and in this field maybe people exports exchanging, and hold different international meetings like this meeting. This is central government to support, ask all of president to focus the carbon neutrality as a main issue in technology, ideas, something like that.
Yes, except this very wonderful seminar, we also planning every 2 years we have a joint seminar with China Civil Engineering Committee, CCES, and with a joint seminar with JSCE. This year we will hold a joint seminar in Nanjing in Hokkaido University.
Okay.
Yes. So please also support us on this event. And I also like to ask everybody join today to join this event. But maybe in the future we can setting the topic of that meeting as carbon neutralization or SDGs.
Yeah. I have a question on this topic
yes,
of
please.
Carbon neutral or decarbonization. So this is like the big theme, most important theme for everyone now. And in ADB, we are also encouraged to do climate or carbon emission reduction projects such as renewable energy. On the one hand, this kind of climate mitigation projects, it's straightforward to support. We build something like renewable energy, which will contribute to carbon emission reduction. However, one of the challenges we have is that construction itself is quite a carbon intensive industry. So whatever the infrastructure may be, there's a major significant emission from the construction process itself. So I think my question to Professor Chen is there initiatives in the construction industry or from the Chinese government on the decarbonization of the construction itself, whether it's a technology or process? And perhaps my second question then is, could it be a topic for researchers to explore cooperation and so on?
Yeah, this is a good question and very key, important, key issues in China for the infrastructure. As you just said, infrastructure construction cannot carbon neutrality by itself. So the central government require all of contracts use urban waste, especially the old buildings, use hard waste and the protection of nature. This is very important. And then, if some buildings cannot continue used, maybe by repair instead of break it and reconstruction. This is a new policy from the central government, and then the highway, the same as a highway, repair instead of break it and reconstruct it, and they use renewable material such as wooden. So there are more than 10 items for the infrastructure construction to nearly or carbon issue reduction, as cities 10 standards for this way. Yesterday applied in all of China to begin use a new standard for carbon issues, emissions. And also we now stop all of coal burning power instead of hydraulic power.
That is also included with the environment problem. Yes, and ecology system of the whole China. I think that is a very important thing. I think maybe Ueda Sensei is also familiar with this kind of topic because of, I think, in the concrete area, is a lot of discussion on these topics. Do you think that we have chance to join research with Chinese university?
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, in fact, Hashizume-san already gave a very similar question, which I wanna give to Professor Chen. Yeah, even yesterday I talked to the Thai delegates, say that construction industry, it's about 30% of the total CO2 emission coming from the total construction activities. Then in overall worldwide construction works, more than 50% are in China. So which means 50%, 15% of CO2 emission of the total CO2 emission in the worldwide come from the construction activity in China. Then it's not only Chinese problem, but this is overall global problem. So I think, not only China, of course, but all the civil engineering communities should take this issue more seriously. Really big responsibility exists in construction activities. So we have to join together to at least show all the society, world society, how we can do to achieve carbon neutrality in the 30 years. Then for this purpose, probably, of course, every country can do their own best, but also we have to share the knowledge and also some collaboration, international collaboration should be very important. Then those several big countries which emitted CO2, and of course China and US and Japan in terms of construction, they're very huge. So we have to take some responsibilities, and I really hope we can see some international collaboration on these issues. I think it might be quite free from the political world, I guess, since CO2 emission, carbon neutrality is, everyone can understand what their well-being. Yes, this is what I wanted to say. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that is a very important question, and I hope we can have more forums or something on these topics. In the other hand, I think the third part of Professor Chen's presentation is about the Belt and Road project, which is I'm very interested about. Just last September, I just visit Kenya, and also in the construction site, which is constructed by the Japanese construction company and Fujita, and I see the concrete is supported by Chinese company, and also I see the construction site. There are 12 countries engineers are working on there, the workers and engineers on their works. I think in the international project, especially like the Belt Road project, there is a lot of chance that to have a joint cooperation between China and Japanese companies. So I think Professor Chen have a lot of chance to do as an evaluator and advisor for the Belt Road project, especially in the highway, in the railway, and the high-speed railway project. So, what is your suggestion and your prediction in the future on this topic? I know this is maybe a difficult question.
Thank you. Professor Ueda has done some about the concrete used at our university. Also, this is a very important work for our College of Civil and Transportation Engineering. This is we have 4 parts. This is a very important part. Not only our Shenzhen University, but also in more than 100 universities in China. The College of Civil Engineering pay more attention to the concrete reuse utilization, especially the old one, mixed the new one, the interface, water, the power, chemical, mechanical, something like that. This is the main issue in China, especially from the National Nature Foundation. Almost 1/5 support invest in this issue. More and more invest in the national nature nations.
陈老师，我想就是想问一下，就是关于这个“一带一路”这个话题哈。就关于“一带一路”话题，因为我个人也非常关心哈。就是说，这个“一带一路”是一个非常大的项目，那么今后有没有一些个可能性，或者是您认为的方向，可以进行这个中国的公司和日本的公司一起进行建设啊，或者中国大学和日本大学一起进行合作的项目？
我是想这里说起，So more cooperation will be started to with foreign universities such as from Japan, from America, from European countries to join the One Belt, One Road. How to reduce the carbon emissions?
I see.
Not only from the ideas, philosophies, knowledges, especially the technology, how to use to utilization in the infrastructure construction along the One Belt and One Road. Cooperation is very important. President Xi Jinping told us yesterday, we pay more attention to the carbon neutrality along the One Belt and One Road instead of infrastructure construction itself. This is very important. Now the direction is from the large scale construction to pay more attention to the carbon neutrality. This is different direction.
This is a global goal. Global goals.
Yeah, great. Yeah. This is a global issue. As President Xi Jinping told the United States in 2019.
Thank you very much. I think about Belt Road project, I think Hashizume-san is working in the Asian Development Bank. Maybe he had more experience on the investment out of country, overseas. So do you have any question? I think you may be more familiar with the Belt Road project than me. So Hashizume-san, do you have any questions or comments on this topic that we can talk with Professor Chen?
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Dan. Not necessarily on the the Belt and Road project
yes,
specifically.
Yes.
But I think in this region in Southeast Asia, obviously the presence of Chinese contractors, Chinese assistance is significant. So perhaps I can comment from a little bit from that perspective. So let's say, and there's a comment that in some countries, let's say like like in Kenya, kind of developing country where both China, Japan, and other donors operate, there can be some room for cooperation and so on. My observation in this region is that the degree of a Chinese presence differs. So in Thailand, there are Chinese projects, contractors, but not that much. On the other hand, in Laos and Cambodia, it's very dominant. Mega projects are almost all funded by China and built by Chinese contractors. Perhaps Vietnam somewhere in between. Now, I think the factors impacting this presence would be several factors. I think one is the capacity of local contractors. So in Thailand, local contractors, they are quite capable. Then anyone from overseas, not just the Chinese, it's difficult to get the project. And then second would be perhaps funding. If it's funded by Chinese government, tied assistance, then obviously the contracts will go to Chinese companies, contractors. Then similar, but another point would be the traditional model of Chinese contractors was to bring in construction workers directly, especially in pluralist places. So this model work in places like Laos, Cambodia, but not anymore in Thailand, perhaps, and in Vietnam either. So these are my observation. And then what I'm hearing is that now there's a transition from the old large infrastructure development model to more sustainable green ones. I think what this means is the Chinese technology, Chinese companies will maintain its presence and influence, but not necessarily like some large Belt and Road projects. Everything is done by China, technology, contractor, laborers. Perhaps this model may be changing, and then that means there's a room for other players to participate. So renewable energy projects, the solar panels, wind blades, most of these are supplied by companies in China. But when things come to other supplemental technology, civil works, it can be done by other companies from other countries. So in terms of the division of the labor, how to structure this, I'm not the engineer myself, so I need to ask. But yeah, this transition actually may be creating the room for more cooperation. That's the impression I got. Yeah, thank you. I'll stop there.
So Prof. Chen, you have any? Can you share any new ideas about the new trend of China's overseas project.
Yeah, now I just focus the metro construction.
Yes.
University in Israel, in Thailand. For example, in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa.
Yes, just next to Kenya.
Yes. We cooperate with a Germany company. They supply the car. We Chinese company to do the infrastructure construction, something cooperation. It depends on the host country. Instead of China, different. In Israel, we cooperate with Israel, the host country is Israel, and French. It depends the host country.
I see. I think it's for a very big project. It is very difficult to run in every country in the same pattern. So yeah, I think there was a lot of pattern. Even I think if their car is made by in this country, I think a lot of parts is come from Japan. And for the construction project, maybe the worker is local people or Chinese people, but I think a lot of machine was also made in Japan. And also I think maybe in the future, I hope a Japanese company maybe have a joint investment together with China or something. Maybe not soon.
I agree with you. Yeah. To benefit the host country is most important.
Yes. I think it's very important.
China itself.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's very precious word.
Yes. Yeah. Can I say something?
Of course.
Yeah, it's the most appropriate moment at this one. Yeah, as I said, I gave my lecture to Thai engineers. Then I was asked by very senior engineer to convey their observation to some influential Chinese engineers. So can I take this opportunity? Yeah, probably Professor Chen, you know that the Chinese government, they got the contract with the Thai government to construct a high-speed rail, several directions from Bangkok. Then that is money come from Thai government, but technology come from China. Yeah, it's okay, very good. So none of the construction worker come from China, but Chinese side, they are very strict. Follow Chinese standard 100%, which means some material should come from China. Some concrete pile should come from China. Yeah, Thai technology, they already have equivalent material, those pressed concrete pile, but Chinese, they don't accept it. So I just want to convey this information to you.
Yes, thank you.
Can be somehow more flexible in terms of the technology. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I think as Chen said that the most important thing is to benefit the country under the construction, not only considering the construction, but maybe also with more consideration of maintenance in the future 20, 50 years, that we can use more local material and local technology to maintain this project in better way. Yeah. So yes, and also I think we already have our time. So I think there's a lot of more topics to be talked, but the time is limited. So I would like to go to the last part. So I'd like to ask Professor Ueda, which is the president of JSCE, to give us a summary and a close. Thank you very much.
I see. Okay. Before I give some close remark, maybe I may ask other participants if we have any question, short question to the Professor Chen.
Sorry. Yes, please.
Any question or any comment?
Anyone can raise your hand and or give me some answer. Yes, please. Mr. Saviti Bibi Toban from JICA.
Everyone, konnichiwa. Assalamu alaikum. Sadat, I'm Sadat from Afghanistan. It's my pleasure to cooperate this video, and I'm very happy, and thank you for this presentations. And also this last part of Dr. Chen presentation about the build a road. As you know, Afghanistan also is suffering from a low percentage and low quality of infrastructure and low budget. And it is our burden of our new generation to work hard for this part. And what is should I ask about other countries like Afghanistan? How we can get this more infrastructure in our country. Thank you very much. As you know, in Afghanistan, the war is very crucial thing, and I know it is the time to work. War is not the solution. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your question. Sorry, I think Mr. Somebody is from Toyohashi University of Technology, maybe a JICA student. Yes. Chen, can you give us some ideas about this topic? 需要我给您翻译一下吗？他刚说的。
你说一下吧，麻烦你。
他说这个阿富汗呢，他是因为他是个阿富汗留学生哈，他这个阿富汗呢，现在呢，国家的话呢，首先也在战乱之中，然后经济状况也不好，所以呢，没有很好的这个投资的环境，没有很多的这个资金去建设，您有什么建议？对于像阿富汗这样的就是经济状况不太好的国家，在基础设施建设方面应该采用哪些个策略，或者你给一个整体的方向的这种评论？谢谢。
谢谢。Yeah, I think Japan, American, China, and Russia have discussed about the reconstruction of Afghanistan. Yeah, there are different issues. The first thing is the infrastructure, the road, very important. Now, joint event all the four countries do itself, does itself. It depends Afghan government. Now this issue is has been discussed a long time between the five countries. As we have got some information, maybe next year, maybe visit Afghan. Depends the five countries governments. Yeah, this is
yes.
Now I have got some
yes. Yeah.
Yes, about Afghan.
Yes. Personally, I have some students from Afghanistan, and he also asked me similar question. So I told him that when I was very young, Chinese still very poor. So if you have a peace environment, country will develop somehow. Hope Afghanistan can be better in the future. Yeah. So also I can also ask, expecting for other questions from the audience. Anyone would like to give some comments or ask questions for Professor Chen for this very rare chance? You can just raise your hands or give me a hint or something. Yes, Ashish from the Ando Hashizume company.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashish Shrestha. So currently I'm working in Ando Hashizume Corporation, a construction company in Japan. So first of all, I want to thank Professor Chen for the wonderful presentation. So from Professor Chen's presentation, we can see that China is, mainly progressing more and more towards the, in terms of building and expanding the huge infrastructure all over China. So in this regard, how challenging is it for China to, achieve the carbon neutrality by 2060 as compared to other countries? And also how the construction industries in China have been progressing in terms of adopting the carbon zero concrete in construction. For example, in terms of Japan, there are few major construction companies like Taisei or Shimizu or Kajima that are working extensively to use the carbon zero concrete, but still the research is extensive, but the application is very much limited. So I want to know how the construction companies in China are advancing in terms of using such technology. Thank you.
陈老师需要翻译吗？
你可以简单翻译一下，其实
就是我觉得你已经很比较清楚了啊。
你可以简单翻译一下也可以。
就他就是想问一下，就是这个就是中国继续在2060年这个完成这个碳中和、碳达标这个任务。中国的公司有没有什么具体的这个策略去这个实现这个目标？就是日本的公司也在做一些努力，但是呢，很难去做到实用化，都是在一些理论上的。中国有没有在这个实践方面的一些个努力
？Thank you very much. It's a very good question. Just I told all of you about the President Xi Jinping. Yesterday, we gave an order. We just call order. All of Chinese companies, especially state companies, required all of them to use the Ministry of Housing and Urban Construction, the 10 standards for high quality and carbon neutrality requirements. We can at every end examine the company, each company, state company, according to the 10 requirements for carbon neutrality in infrastructure construction. There are many kinds of qualities about pure cubic meter concrete to emit carbon. Check one by one in Excel list by the central government. It is very difficult because if you renew or upgrade your technology, you first to invest, so you cannot get so more benefit from 1 year or 2 years to refund your invest because it is a company instead of a government or NGO. This is different. So the same difficult issue in China. However, the examination standards for everyone boss of state companies the same. This is the central government requirements. So now in China, all of the state companies in a side issue, side motions. So it's the same as in Japan. But as Professor Ueda told us, using the new knowledge, new technology. So the bosses pay more attention the new knowledge, new technologies, new machines from universities, factories, and even foreign companies.
So Chinese company also have more motivation on joint research with Chinese university, so they can solve the problem together.
And also foreign countries.
Oh, very like to see hear about that. Yeah. I think the important difference is that the state company, like big construction company, is the state company in China, and government will give them some KPI to evaluate their effort on this. I think this part is different with the Japanese private construction company. Thank you, Dr. Ashes. Thank you very much for your question. Thank you, Professor Chen, for the very important information for us. So I think this time we need to close up this seminar right now. So Professor Ueda, please give us a very nice summary.
Okay, Professor Dan, thank you very much. Yeah, I believe that we have had a very excellent presentation at the beginning of today's seminar, which is followed by also very constructive discussion. And through that, we could know how current Chinese government are also engineering and research community are doing towards our common task, which is sustainability development and also carbon neutrality. In fact, I believe, Chinese contribution is very important to all over the world. And I hope that like today's event, which indicate clearly some necessity of the international collaboration with China towards the carbon neutrality. And I shouldn't forget to mention that Professor Chen did give us some latest information of the underground related to technology tunneling and also many subway lines construction, which I believe Professor Chen's specialty. I also know, yes, very long highway and rail tunnel being constructed at this moment. So anyway, through today's seminar, it can be one of the starting points to have some collaboration between Japan and China, and also not only two countries, as today's event indicated. This is in collaboration with IAC as well. Unfortunately, because of the time difference, we couldn't have the real presentation from the United States, IAC this time, but they are really keen to have collaboration, not only JSCE, but also CCES. So it might be our starting point to have the further collaboration, maybe China, US, and Japan in terms of civil engineering. Then it can be expanded further to the other country. So once again, thank you, my close friend, Professor Chen. Your excellent presentation. Thank you very much. And I will see you soon in a few months' time in Shenzhen. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll thank you again, Professor Chen, thank Professor Ueda and Mr. Hashizume. Thank you for joining today's discussion and presentation. So I will close this meeting right now. Thank you again.